people, great Biafrans, wherever you are, on the face of this very planet, excitedly, I say excitedly, because every praise must go to Elohim, Chukwokika Biama Purumi Henine, because the zoo has collapsed, completely collapsed. It's just that I don't have a very good voice. I would have tried my best to sing to all of you tonight. I don't know how to begin to praise God in heaven. I don't know how I can begin to thank Him for all the wonderful things He has done in our lives, and how finally the zoo was exposed today for the sham that it is. I thank this very God that I worship. I exalt the name of the Creator of the heavens and the earth. I feel like preaching tonight, because tonight IPOB has been vindicated. Tonight I have been vindicated. Tonight everybody, every tongue, every hand, every person, every entity that rose against IPOB, they have been covered with shame, because tonight the world knows that Buhari is dead, that Jubril is the one acting on his behalf. We have brought them to their knees. We have stampeded them into making a mistake. That was why I insisted on hammering Jubril all the time. I know there will come a time they will make a mistake, and tonight they have made it. They have made that calamitous mistake. Tonight, I want to prove it to everybody. There are those who, out of cowardice and fear, will fail to acknowledge the obvious. But we are IPOB, we are without fear before any mortal. We only fear one entity, God in heaven, Chukwokika Biama Purumi Henine, the giver of life. Nigerians, if anybody comes to me to say he or she is a Nigerian, I will spit in your face, because you're an animal. An animal is better than you. You people, you have no brain. I don't know what is... Let me start normally. Let me greet all of you in this corona-infested world. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. I have a mixture of excitedness within me and regret in the sense that I know that black people are slightly useless. I never knew the depth of our hopelessness until tonight. I'm telling you, I want to praise God in a way that I have never praised Him before. I want to thank God in heaven the way I have never thanked Him before. I praised God when I lost my parents. I praised Him ceaselessly. Morning, noon, and night I kept offering praise to God in heaven, because only Him knows. And God said to me, you will see what will happen to the zoo. I will destroy the zoo before your eyes. And that very process has begun this evening. It has begun. We knew they would make a mistake. God said I will compel them to make a mistake, and they have done it. The zoo is gone. What is going to come next is wave after wave of Fulani Janjaweed terrorism. And then, after coronavirus, the whole world will see that the zoo is empty and very vacuous. There are some Yoruba people, shamefully, try to make something out of what is an obvious fraud. I had prepared this program this evening, but with the permission of IPOB family, the listening public all over the world, I will have to digress a little bit. We have to pray. How can I forget to pray on a day like this? I am short of words, I'm telling you. Because anytime I'm sat behind this very chair, behind this very microphone, I get revelation from heaven. Anything I tell you is correct. Anything I tell is the truth. God is my witness. I'm telling you, I can't lie to you. When I said that Abba fled to Cuba, I knew it was the truth. When I said Abba fled and took Jubril with him, that was also the truth. Forget all the shows they were putting up. But let's praise God first. Let's pray to Elohim. And then I will tell you how the zoo has come to an end, from where they will never recover. They will never recover from this. It doesn't matter how many sycophants they pay. It doesn't matter how many ass-licking bastards they pay. It doesn't matter at all. Here I preach the truth as directed from heaven. I will preach this very gospel. It doesn't matter what it will take away from me. It doesn't matter if my life goes into it. This gospel must be preached. And from tonight, when we say Anagwa on air, you will understand what it means. Some of you are daft, you don't know anything. They say I'm arrogant, I insult you because you're dumb. If you're stupid, I come to your face and I tell you that you're very stupid. Today we have demonstrated the reason why blacks became slaves all over the world, first to Arabs and then to the Americans. I said Americans, not Americans. That was why they came to Africa and emptied Africa. Our stupidity is astonishing. Our capacity for self-defense and ass-licking is unbelievable. People who thought we are human beings can stand on the truth morning, noon, and night. All of a sudden, they just change overnight. They just changed. I do not change. I am nothing, but I do not change. I do not change. I am as constant as the northern star. I do not change. Let me, not out of exuberance and excitement, forget to give glory and honor to whom glory and honor is due, God in heaven. What God did for IPOB today is unquantifiable. Money cannot buy it. It's unquantifiable. If not that coronavirus is killing people all over the world, I will say thank you to coronavirus for what it has done to Asorok. That we may preach and the world may listen. That when next we tell you that we have come under the supreme mandate of heaven, then you will believe us. I cannot lie to you. I am under a sacred oath. I cannot lie. And I am at Wasi. Those who are close to me, they understand that. I do not lie. That is why God gives me revelations. I see things years in advance before mere mortals can. Tonight we have been vindicated. This long-suffering IPOB family has been vindicated. In a short while, I will, of course, elaborate. But for now, let me pray in the language of heaven. Tonight of all nights, I want to call upon heaven. Because angels are listening. Angels are listening. Including my father and my mother, I can assure you. I couldn't have wished for better parents. Including my father and my mother who are in heaven. Chineke na nke dị nsọ ma bụ mgbe ebighị ebi. Onye eluigwe n'ụwa na-agba akaebe ịhụnanya ya na ebere ya n'ime ndụ ndị niile bụ ndị ya bụ ndị ji ya wee na-anya isi dịka ezinụlọ IPOB n'ụwa niile. Eze kachasị eze niile elu. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ mpụta n'isi njedebe. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya bụ ye na amen. Onye si ka ihe wee pụta n'ime ọchịchịrị, ihe wee pụta dịka ya onwe ya si wee kwado ya na Biafra ga-apụta n'ọchịchịrị Biafra, ihe Afrịka ka ihe wee gbasa ebe niile. Onye ndị Igbo na-etu ebighị ebi. onye dị omimi wee karịsịchaa nghọta nke mmadụ dị ndụ. Onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-efe, mmụọ na mmadụ na-akpụ isi ala nye gị. Ọ bụ gị bụ Chineke nna nke usu niile nke ndị agha. Ọ bụ gị na-enye anụ ufe nke igwe nri na-enweghị ọkụ nke ọ na-aga. O nweghị aka ọrụ mana ị na-enye ya nri n'ihi na ị bụ Chineke nna. Ụmụ gị n'ụwa niile wee na-ege ozi nsọ gị nke ị gwara anyị ka anyị wee gbasaa n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu, asụghị ngọngọ, atụghị egwu mmadụ ọbụla, n'ihi na ọ bụ naanị gị na-achị. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke nna. Enweghị chi ọzọ ewezụga gị. Enweghị ihe aka mere ma ọ bụ afọ nwaanyị mụpụtara bụ Chineke nna bi n'igwe. Ọ bụ sọsọ gị onye ime eluigwe. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ Chineke anyị na-efe. Anyị wee na-asị nsọ 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 ka Jehova dị, onye ebere ya na amara ya na-adịgide, onye ọmịiko ya sachiri ihe niile ya onwe ya kere. Ọ bụ ụzọ dị aṅaa ka m ga-esi wee jaa gị mma n'abalị ya ka i wee nabata ya? Ọ bụ ụzọ dị aṅaa ka m ga-esi wee bulie ya elu ka ụwa niile wee gbaa akaebe? N'ihi na anọ m n'ime ụlọ mkpọrọ wee na-ekpere gị ekpere, nsị gị Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, na uche ọ bụ gị ga-emezu n'ime ndụ anyị, na aga m esi ebe a wee pụọ na ndụ na-abụghị n'ọnwụ, na aga m eguzo n'ihu ogige mmadụ niile, aga m eguzo n'ihu igwe mmadụ wee gbasa ozi ọma gị. Ya bụ nkwa nkwere gị wee na-emejupụta ya n'abalị ya, wee na-asị na onweghị ihe mbụ Chineke nna nke igwe. Ụmụ gị bụ ụmụ Biafra n'ụwa niile, IPOB ruo ebe niile ụwa sọtụrụ, ka ị wee mere anya mara ma gosi anyị ịhụnanya gị n'ihi na ị bụ Chineke nna. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, bịakwa ka ị wee mere anyị ebere. Bịakwa ka iwe mere anyị ebere, wee wezugara anyị ọnwụ mgbabiri iji bịa ka iwe wezugara anyị ọnwụ nke ahụ batara n'ime etiti ụwa niile, echi jide mmadụ dị ndụ wee laa ya n'iyi. Bịakwa ka iwe echebe Biafra ka isi wee chebe Israel. Bịakwa ka iwe echebe Biafra ka isi wee na-eche Ethiopia. Chineke nna dị ngọzi ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Bịakwa ka iwe kasie ndị gị obi bi, ndị kwere na gị ma kwesịsị ike, n'ihi na onweghị ihe mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Onye nwe m, onye nwe m, onye nwe m, Chineke n'eze ebube dị ngọzi, bịa ka iwe nara otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile na ịkpụ isi anya niile na mbuli elu aha nsọ gị site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise ise ise. The zoo has fallen. This is our normal address that I bring to the people of Biafra all over the world regarding the ravaging coronavirus. Today is the 29th day, is March, in the year of our Most High Elohim 2020. It is Sunday. It is a live presentation. It is 20 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening in Biafra land. If your timepiece says anything different, if it is not 20 minutes past the top of the hour, you know you're not listening to a live broadcast. But we are live, we are direct, and heaven and earth is bearing us witness. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. And by the very special grace of the maker of the heavens and the earth, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra. We start our program this evening by, of course, evaluating the very topical issue of the moment. Not tropical, I said topical because a lot of people are now accustomed to misquoting me, thereby placing me within, or should I say, compartmentalizing me amongst those who cannot sequence their sentences very properly, and I do not like that. There is a topical issue at the moment, which is about the disappearance of Abba Kyari and Jubril al-Sudani. When this whole thing broke, I told the whole world that Jubril al-Sudani is a man that they have brought in to replace the dead Muhammadu Buhari. Most of you did not believe me. I do not blame you. Some of you are black people. You are used to lying. So when somebody says something, you think it is a lie. Some of you are black Africans. Perhaps your brains are not quite developed enough to appreciate the subtleties of the deception that people in high offices are capable of carrying out. Some of them labeled us conspiracy theories. They said we are mad. They said we are insane. But we held on to the truth because we knew we were preaching the truth. After undergoing enormous pressure, Asarok decided for the very first time to capitulate. It is due to a combination of factors, of course, but I will tell you what tipped it. It is not just the Imam of Peace from Australia, who did a very excellent job in unmasking Jubril and the Janjaweed, the Fulani terrorist headsmen for who they are. What did this very trick is an innocuous article written by Ambassador Campbell for the Council on Foreign Relations in Washington, D.C. There he made it very clear in very diplomatic language that Abba Kyari is the one running the zoo, Nigeria. And Amaka, you put that up in a minute, but we want to follow this sequence by sequence. This evening, let us start with the just concluded, alleged, should I say, live address from the person that some people call Buhari. What I found very shocking is that people that I felt or thought were very intelligent are not intelligent after all. It's a shame and it's a disgrace. Let me start by making this assertion. If you have two mobile phones, if you have a mobile phone, if you have a laptop, as I am speaking, I want you to do very basic comparing and contrasting. And I want you to make sure you have your pen and paper ready and open your brain to be able to assimilate the truth. Because a lot of things are happening, I can assure you. Very many things are happening. I can't, but I don't even know where to start, to be honest with you. I do not know where to start, but one thing is certain. This evening, the whole world will know that Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB that he leads are truthful people, that they are the children of God in heaven, and that we represent the light. We cannot be bought. We cannot be compromised. Look at the just concluded rubbish that was broadcast on NTA. I want to start by saying this. That very video was shot in a hotel basement in Havana in Cuba. That's number one. As I'm speaking, be writing it down on a piece of paper. Incontrovertibly, I will demonstrate it beyond every conceivable doubt that even the most ardent, the most idiotic Nigerian will be able to understand that you people have been taken for a ride for a very long time. That we are IPOB, we are the pace setters, we are number one. We see things that others cannot see. Because we are guided by the truth. Guided as always by the truth and nothing else. Always guided by the truth. Look at the so-called press conference that they held. It was held, of course, in the basement of a hotel in Havana in Cuba. My first assertion this evening is that Abba Kyari and that thing they put up on NTA to be reading a press statement that more or less is a press release. That was the version of Jubril that they sent to go and see Donald Trump. Remember? The one that Trump said is lifeless. Go and look at him properly. Look at the way that they ran away. The cameraman cannot pan to see the face of a so-called president. They are hiding because I set a trap for them. But I will tell them anyway because they did it themselves. I wanted them to come up close and personal. You will see that the man's teeth are equal. His incisors, his two front teeth, they are equal. The original Buhari, the right incisor is longer than the left one. I was waiting for them. Waiting for the camera. Maybe they bugged my phone. I don't know. I was waiting for them to pan the camera closer to that impostor. They refused. They sat back. I warned you and I told you they were going to record it. Go to my page, you will see it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the official one, of course. Go there, you will see it. I told you it will be a recorded broadcast. When they always start with a Photoshop. We knew this when Buhari died in London. They always start with the Photoshop. They bring out the Photoshop, bring it out. They go to Yoruba media and their friends, their Yoruba writers. They write, oh, he's a Buhari. He saw the Archbishop of Canterbury, all that rubbish. We know. That's how they start. Then they introduce videos. Doctored videos called live editing. They introduce the video and then after that, they bring out a version of Jubril. They bring him out and say, oh, this is Buhari. He's addressing the nation. Secondly, look at his shoulders. You have the video? Look at his shoulders. He's wearing a shoulder pad. Go and look at the shoulders, the broad shoulders, and go and look at any original Buhari video clip from 2015 to 2016. Don't come to 17. Go and play the two videos side by side. You will see your ignorance as a zoo citizen staring you in the face. I hope you're following. They were in a hurry because of coronavirus. Listen carefully to... Oh my Lord, I don't want to speak in tongues. How much a Pentecostal? God forbid Satan. Listen very carefully to what I have to tell you. Do you know that this rubbish that some of you watched was shot in the basement of a hotel in Havana, in Cuba? Do you know how we know it's a hotel? You know when you go for conferences, that board you used to write when you go for conference in hotels, that was where they photocopied the coat of arms of Nigeria in a colored photocopier and pasted it at that very nonsense at the back of Jubril. And it was talking rubbish. Some of you saw it. But now, because you are a bit blind, Chinasa, I want you to forward that very information to Amaka so she can display it, and I want it shared everywhere around the world. I want people to first look at the coat of arms of Nigeria, the way it appeared in Havana in Cuba. There is something called edging and lining in TD. It's called technical drawing. I did it as an elective in Government College Umuahia. How to make sure that the lines that you're drawing at the edge of a piece of paper or a board or anything are lined and it's equal. If you look at the coat of arms behind the Jubril, you will see that it was done in a hurry. They made a lot of mistakes. You can see that the lines don't align at all. That is also number 2. And number 3, I am asking the entire presidency of Nigeria to show us where in Aso Rock this very address was taken from. There is no room in Aso Rock that is as haggard as this very tattered hotel in Havana where they shot this nonsense. There is no place, there is no room in Aso Rock. And I am also asking Chinasa to forward to Amaka this evening for distribution. I will want to show you every live videoed address from Aso Rock when the original dead Buhari was in power. I want people to compare all of them. If you have eyes and if you have brain still functioning, compare and contrast, you'll be able to see it. It was not shot in Aso Rock. It was shot in Havana, the capital of Cuba, where Abba Kyari is taking treatment. There is no hotel like this in Dubai. There is none. No hotel can, even a one-star hotel in Dubai cannot be as rickety as this. Just short in Havana. People suffering from economic stagnation and sanctions from the US for very many decades. Everything I tell you is correct, and it is the truth. That Nigerians, that is, of course, the zoo people, sometimes they hate me for it. Oh, we like what he's saying, but I will insult you because you're an animal. You don't reason very well. If you all reason very well, there is no way this impostor can be there. It is impossible. Look at the hotel background. Look at the flag that they used. And we have pictures of, they even got the flag wrong. They were so desperate to replicate what the dead Buhari used to do that they hastily stitched up the flag. Nobody knows if it is Boy Scout or Girls Guide flag that they put beside him. They were in a hurry because they were under pressure. They had to speak. Somebody had to say something. And that was why they hastily arranged this nonsense. Even BBC that was streaming it were full of shame. They couldn't hide their shame. They recorded a video, hastily of course, dispatched it, sent it to NTA, for NTA Nigeria Television Authority to upload and put live, lying. These are journalists and they are liars to deceive all of you. Channels join them to deceive all of you because they know that you can be deceived, but they also understand that they cannot deceive Nnamdi Kanu, they cannot deceive IPOB. They know that very well. That is why I am throwing a challenge tonight. If you can find any room like this in Asorok, I will stop leading IPOB because there is no room like that there. Look at the very bad job they did with their useless coat of arms. They can't even get the lining, the circle correct. The whole thing, maybe they chewing gum. After eating chewing, because as I said, anytime I make a post, go and read it very well. I said, because of the absence of Abba Kyari, they are now going to make mistakes. That's what I said. They will make mistakes. And they have made it. And this evening is the best night. I can't remember when I've been this happy. Because the world can now see how useless the zoo is. He was reading, he never looked up. He doesn't look up. No, he doesn't. He just wanted to run away from that very place. He couldn't stand it. He wanted to disappear. And you know the funniest thing? How we know, not how we, of course I knew that the whole thing was pre-recorded. The idiots, because they were in a hurry, the idiot editing it for them in Cuba. He has the latest Samsung. The idiot didn't know that his Samsung was ringing when he was dubbing the Zoo national anthem into the tape. Go to BBC, you will see it. Go to BBC, boy. I hate BBC, but God, I'm advertising them tonight. Maybe others heard it as well. Samsung, the ringtone of Samsung, after a whole presidential address, the ringtone of Samsung was dubbed into their national anthem. Because they were in a hurry. And they made a mistake. And they are the laughing stock of the whole world. Look at the zoo flag to the right of Jubril. Because I said it yesterday that the man they were bringing in Asorok saying, oh, he met the health minister. I know that is not the Jubril. I know. What they have done cleverly is to go and bring somebody. They use latex. You know the face of somebody. They mold, as I am right now, somebody can mold my face and put it in plaster. And then pour plasticine on top of it. Once it is cooled sufficiently, you pull it out and that is my face. You can wear it. Can't you see Mission Impossible? Have you not watched the film Mission Impossible? How people can transform their faces. It's not cinematics, no, of course not. It's what artists do. Even in movies, they do it. Why this very simple fact is lost on your so-called Nigerians, I have no idea. I don't know. Any movie, anybody who watches movies, you can tell. If I want to adopt you, have you seen the movie Face Off? If I want to take your face, it's very easy. I push your face down into a bucket with a cast in it. It will capture all the contours of your face. From there, I will put poor plastic rubber on it, and I will mold your face. If I'm wearing it, you think I am you. Very elementary makeup that anybody can do. And I kept telling you people, you dumb Nigerians, I kept telling you that this is what they've been doing. You didn't believe me. Oh, yeah, he's an asshole. He's gone. They did that rubbish yesterday, released that edited video to convince you that he's in Aso, but we know he's in Havana in Cuba. They came with people telling you, oh, he's in Dubai. Of course not. There is no hotel in Dubai as tacky as this place that they did this shooting in. They videoed Jubril in Havana. There is no hotel. Ask anybody who's ever been to Dubai. There is no hotel as tacky as that in Dubai. And we are asking them again this evening, of all the rooms and all the places that the old Buhari used to hold conferences in Aso, it is only in a basement that you managed to find. Only in a basement. Is that how a head of state actually addresses his people? Anybody that knew the dictator, is this how the old Buhari used to address people? Of course not. He was grammatically challenged, but at least he was a bit boisterous. But this is the young man they brought after making him up to try and look like an 80-year-old. Of course, they can't do it. And I'm asking you this evening, I want everybody, if you are in the village or you're with your grandparents, ask your father or your mother, show me an 80-year-old anywhere in the world. Look at an 80-year-old, then Google it, 80-year-old, your face is on Google. They will show you how 80-year-olds look. I want you to look at it and go back and watch the video that they told you is Buhari and tell me if they look alike. If Buhari resembles, as the Jubril, if it resembles anything close to an 80-year-old. God gave you eyes. God gave you a brain. Try to allow your eyes to communicate with your brain. Maybe you might be able to reason things through. I want all the pictures of Aso released. Every facet of Aso I want the pictures released to prove to the whole world that where Jubril held his press conference, where he read out his press statement, which was all he did, is in Havana in Cuba. That's where he is. Because Abba Kyari did not trust, and he can't leave him alone. Abba Kyari took him with him. I said, please come with me before you mess things up. Took him to Havana in Cuba. That's where they are concocting all this rubbish. And most of you zoo children are lapping it up. That's the animals that some of you are. You don't like it? Tough, but it's the truth. Because when we were telling you the truth, you did not want to listen. It has happened. You have now comprehensively disgraced yourselves. It is very clear for the whole world to see. Let me see who will look at that thing and say, it's our Baba. They were hiding. The cameraman couldn't even zoom in. They cannot pan to the left or to the right, just fixated on that square portrait you have in front of you. Look at the sound effects. Is that the sound coming from a Bose system, which is what they have in Aso? The sound system they have in Aso is Bose. I know that. Does that sound coming from, does it sound like something coming from a Bose speaker? No, it doesn't. Because it was shot with a camcorder. That is why the sound is distorted. You can even hear them. Maybe it's in a hotel. You can even hear them grinding tomatoes and slicing onions. If you can, because the noise was so much that they had to use something to try and mask it over. That's that annoying sound that you were hearing. They were in a basement in a hotel in Havana in Cuba, addressing the most populous nation, black nation in the world, the giant of Africa. These are imbeciles, people who cannot reason very well. I tell you the truth. If you don't like it, you go and hang somewhere. It is the truth. You people are a bunch of wild beasts. You cannot reason properly. That is your problem. That is why Africa is backwards. And that is why here on IPOB, we don't feel sorry for ourselves. We want to be the best that we can ever be. That is why we welcome every manner of criticism, every manner of insult. We don't really give a damn. Because together, it can only make us better. Now you understand it. That is why Nigeria is a zoo, because people cannot reason very well. You have seen the clip of that thing talking. Is that Buhari to you? Is that I ask anybody with brain in their skull. But of course I know that some Yoruba media will come out tomorrow. Oh, he's Buhari. We know the way they behave. Because the shame is too much. They can't come to say, oh, we apologize to IPOB. We have done something wrong. We apologize to Nnamdi Kanu. He's been right all along. They can, you don't expect Yoruba media to say that to you, do you? Of course not. The same thing I've been saying was what somebody said from Australia. And everybody's jumping up and down. I've been saying it since 2012. The same thing that the Imam of Peace was saying, I have been saying since 2012. But because I am a Biafran, I am Igbo, there is nowhere on this earth Yoruba can give me credit. It's impossible. Impossible. They can't do that. It's not in the how can they? It's not in the nature. They can't give you credit. No, never. But everybody's jumping up and down. An Australian man said it. I just read it and I laughed. But the man made some very heavy points, which I shall dwell on later on. It's better. Let them not listen to me. Please, many more people should come out from all over the world to tell you the obvious. That Jubril is the one running Nigeria. Of course, it's Abba Kyari, but presenting the face of Jubril. He's infected with COVID-19. He can't do anything anymore. But from his sick bed, he's the puppet master directing. Oh, go and get this. Look at the coat of arm. Forget every other thing. If you have brain, look at the coat of arm of a what's it called? Of a giant of Africa. It's something. It resembles something that Nnamdi Kanu could have done in prep school as a 4-year-old. Go and look how tacky. No, so tacky because they were in a hurry. They were in a hurry. That's why that's why I said tonight is a very beautiful night. The zoo has come to an end. They can't survive this. And they know they can't survive it. Now, going forward, you know what they're going to do? They will tell you, oh, haven't you seen him? He appeared live. They will go and give money. Of course, Tinubu wants to be president. So they'll say to Tinubu, oh, make sure your boys are cooperating. They'll say, yeah, no problem. They'll go and pay some people. They'll be writing, hey, didn't you see him? Baba spoke yesterday. You wanted to see him live. You've seen him live. Now, leave us in peace. As they're mouthing all this rubbish, they are moving all these Fulani terrorists down south. Oh, you don't know. I think Gani Adams have actually said that that it was a bomb that went off in Akure. You know, when he said, as I said before, there is a saying where we come from. There is a way you be so wicked and evil one day mistakenly, just like coronavirus. You touch a table and you put it in your mouth and it will kill you. I can see how home. When Yoruba media was covering up evil. Oh, it's a pipeline, it's a gas explosion, it's a cylinder explosion. But they knew it was terrorists from Fulani killing people. Now they have hit them in Akure. Now you know it's a bomb. Okay. But when they killed Biafrans in Abulado, it's pipeline. Now they kill you in Akure, it's bomb. Because they failed to report the truth and accurately in Lagos. The Fulanis went to Akure and hit them. Because if you keep covering evil, one day that evil will basically swallow you. The Yorubas, what they have been doing is to be nursing this python and feeding it, which is a janjaweed, and I don't want to speak too much grammar, which is maybe janjaweed terrorist tendencies. They've been massaging them. You see some Yoruba commentators, they'll write very glowingly about Fulani. I look at them and I laugh at them. They will swallow you whole. There is a warmonger. What he's saying is not true. But you have seen what they have done in Akure. Can you do anything? The answer is no. I told you the bombs they were using. There is not even a mortar shell. I told you it was a gravity bomb. The crater, if you want to know how powerful a bomb is, you check it, you measure the crater, the hole it leaves in the ground at the point of explosion or impact. That's how you know how powerful it is. Go and look at that crater. It's almost 50 meters deep. It's called a gravity bomb. It explodes, it uses shock waves to compress human beings and blow off roofs on houses. Anything around it vaporizes. So you don't see dead bodies. You can't see them because they're vaporized. Because Yoruba journalists, you covered up Fulani atrocity in Ablado against Biafrans. Now you got your what is called comeuppance in Akure. I'm not happy about it. But that is what happens when you support evil. And here we preach it. I don't care if you like us, if you don't like us, but the truth will always prevail. For ye shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. That is why we are here. Today, has it not dawned on all of you that today, and that the zoo is no more. You have no president. The puppet master Abakari is nowhere to be found. Even the backup vocalist, who is Rufai El Rufai, the midget, is also taken out as well by coronavirus, leaving the zoo very bare and open. Can't you see it? The only thing holding the zoo together now is Yoruba cowardice. I'm being very honest. Yoruba cowardice, the cowardice of the Igbo political class, the complicity and hopelessness of the South so-called political leaders, the terror because they have instilled terror in the Middle Belt. That Middle Belt people can no longer rise up again. That is why Fulani is still in charge. In any other country tonight, there'll be a revolution. This night, there'll be rioting. Of course, coronavirus won't let anybody move out anymore. Tonight, I'm telling you, there'll be riots everywhere. In any other civilized climate. But in this zoo, what are you going to do? He said, maybe it's better. I think he has recovered. You know, they have good medical equipment in London. Maybe he recovered. You know, he eats fried egg in the morning. They are restricting your movements. And the Janjaweeds are moving about all over the place. Everywhere you go to around the world, before Trump signed his stimulus package into law, it was debated by both houses, but only in the zoo. Abakari will be in Cuba, in Havana in Cuba, and trot out his puppets to come and mouth rubbish. And there will be movements closed everywhere. No recourse to legislation. You have no legislature. It's more like martial law that you have. Martial law, not even being directed by somebody who maybe some people will say is a Nigerian, but it's from Sudan. From Sudan. People with their two eyes open that said, oh, we are learned, we have PhD, SSG, masters, 15 PhDs. And that idiot you saw this evening, Jubril, in the basement of a hotel in Cuba, writing, mouthing rubbish, talking nonsense from his mouth. You're saying that is your president. President Buhari has spoken. President Buhari has spoken. Do you see how foolish some of you are? Do you see how daft some of you truly are? Very sad indeed. Whilst you're going through that, it's no longer the unmasking of Jubril, it's the unmasking of the fraud. Of the fraud. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. People are just sending clips. Unbelievable. Look at the coat of arms that Jubril had. Even before, when he was in Asorok, look at the coat of arms in the basement of a hotel. And in Havana in Cuba, and that tells you all that you need to know, everything that you need to know. And to make matters worse, they couldn't even, because they were in a hurry. Nnamdi Kanu is on their neck, coupled with what they were afraid of is not what the imam was saying, but that the imam of peace will corroborate what I've been telling them all along. And then the final nail on the coffin is the very brilliant piece by Ambassador Campbell. That finished them off. And now let me play, I think I can actually play it, a part of the clip. Let me see if I can play it. That some of them, this one, I got this one from, what's it called? From BBC Igbo. That's where I got it from. If it will open, and then I'll play it for you. Then you will see what has been happening to the zoo. What has been happening to the zoo? Where is it? Let me see if I can be able to get it. Then I will play it for you. It is being. Oh, even BBC has removed the. BBC has removed the audio. They don't want the world to know what is happening. You know, BBC, they work for Janjaweed. They work for Fulani people. Unbelievable. They've taken away the voice so that the world would so that the world would not even hear them anymore. I want to play for you. Please, can somebody give it to me? Please. Yes. Can you hear a president? Can you hear anything? Nobody can hear anything that this man was mouthing. No one can. And towards the end, I want you to hear what actually transpired when they were playing their national anthem, the Zoo national anthem. Their dubbing went wrong, didn't it? People are asking questions. What is he saying? I cannot hear anything. What is the man saying? He's a comedian. This is on BBC's own Facebook page. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. That is what is happening. I want the clear one where the Samsung phone was ringing at the end. They said it was in Asarok. Where is Asarok in that very video? Where is Asarok in any of the pictures? Or the still pictures that were captured? There is none. Absolutely none. Of course, Facebook is doing their best to try to stop our people from following what we are doing this evening. But they know they're wasting their time. The whole world is listening. They are wasting their time. They are wasting their time. We must continue this very evening. Having dissected their useless videos, I told you. Everything they did today, I told you in advance. They are going to record a video. Jubril is not in Aso. He is not. He is not. Tomorrow what they will do is they will go and bring out they have two of them. They bring out the reserve one and kit him up. He will come out to the door and wave at Femi Adesina and the Garabashiru, and he will go back. And the papers will, Daily Trust will carry it. Buhari waves at people in Asarok. Ask him to speak, because they know that man is a disgrace. The one in Asarok cannot speak. They rely on the one in Havana in Cuba to be able to speak. And Abba Keri won't let him leave. If he leaves Havana, he knows that he will come to the zoo and he will mess up. These are the things we need to make the world understand. With the time standing at approximately 6 minutes to 9 p.m., we are live, we are direct, and the whole of humanity is listening to us. This is Radio Biafra, a live presentation regarding our corona update, because we're going to come to this same Jubril matter. As I can see, they have brought over a few people who were speaking straight before. They're no longer straight. They are now a bit shaky. They no longer know. They no longer know where they stand. And I'm asking anybody with common sense, look at that very video and tell me if that is Buhari to you, the Buhari that we know. And as we are publishing it, we are publishing the original Buhari photos and videos for you to do your own comparisons. Or should I say comparative analysis? A president is talking, he didn't even drink water. I have what I'm drinking. He did not even drink, no sip. He did not wait, he just read and he ran away from there. And you're saying that is the president of the most populous black country in the world. That is what the Janjaweed, the Fulani, have reduced all of you to. Reduced all of you so that your brains are no longer functioning properly. That is what they have done to all of you. Very, very sad indeed. Extremely sad. Very, very sad that this is what is happening to people who are supposedly very intelligent. Who are supposedly very intelligent. You see how daft the Fulani have reduced all of you? They went to Yoruba land. Men in Yoruba land that could rise up to speak. They are cowards. Lily-livered cowards. And of course, in our land, in Biafra land, we serve them. Your politicians, they are boy to them in the north. Boy to them in the north. Boy. That is what is happening. In the Middle Belt, subdued. They have slaughtered them so much that it is no longer news. All of you are just there like neutered toads, just looking. You can't do anything. You are paralyzed with fear because all of you are compromised. But you see this IPOB, you see this Nnamdi Kanu, we are unbuyable. You cannot. And they know it. That is why we speak the truth. Always 24/7. You may not like it. You may get upset because you're educated in the zoo. That is not my fault that you went to school in the zoo. It's not my fault. But I'm telling you, if you pass through that educational system, you are a mess. And a liability on society. Your brain cannot function properly. It can never function properly. Once you pass through zoo education system, where they don't even flush their toilets, your brain can never be the same. You cannot be a human being. It is impossible. That is why the world understands what we are doing. That is why humanity will bear us witness tonight. That nonsense was filmed in Cuba. When next I tell you something, you believe me. Anything I tell you is correct. You can upside down, left or right, it is correct. Is that Aso Rock? Is that Aso Rock? Does that look like Aso Rock to you? We must give our people Corona update, and as we are doing so, we are colonizing them in Aso Rock. They can't sleep tonight. They know they're finished. They cannot sleep. Tomorrow they'll be planning, which photo. Now you see Photoshop will start coming. Go to Femi Adesina, they're preparing new Photoshop. They give it to their army of hungry Janjaweed to be distributing on Facebook and other social media platforms. But we are IPAB, we are waiting for them. They publish it and we decimate them. We decimate them. We shred them to pieces. Complete decimation. Mad people in this. This is why I call Nigerians animals and baboons and more. They are useless. Useless to the core. No wonder they have no electricity. No wonder they import fuel. They have crude oil, they export crude oil, they import fuel. And I went to University of Nigeria, so I went to Ile-Ife. I studied. What did you study? Crude oil comes out of the ground. With 4 moribund refineries, you send crude oil outside, you import the finished one, and on top of that, you pay duty on the same fuel. I have no regard. Once you say you're Nigerian, you are an animal. You are an animal. You cannot reason. You are in a zoo. You are an animal. You people are useless. So useless is untrue. So useless is untrue. Are you human? No wonder. No wonder there is this racism abroad. Why won't white people be racist towards us? We behave like fools who cannot reason very well. Why wouldn't they be racist towards you? Would you behave like a complete imbecile? A complete idiot. That thing, speaking from the basement of a rundown hotel in Havana, is your president. From the basement of a hotel. They photocopied coat of arms and put on a board. Used for presentation when people go for conference. Hey! And you say you are Nigerians. He's an ass rock. I don't want to speak against the spirit. But I've said to God, if there's something like another life, I don't want to see these people. You see that I don't want to see them. How can human beings be behaving like wild beasts in the forest? How is that possible? So you're telling me you don't know who Buhari is again? You don't know, you cannot differentiate between Buhari and an impostor? You cannot tell? The height is not the same. Look at the shoulders. Look at the extent they have gone to conceal their deceit. And some of you are shamelessly, I say shamelessly, supporting evil. Shamelessly supporting evil. Think we'll join to support nonsense? You must be insane. You must be demented. You must be mad. Look at your one Nigeria. Look at your one Nigeria. That is why they detonate bombs, nobody gives a damn. They are taking over villages, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because the media in the zoo is domiciled in the hands of cowards. If you're a coward, you shouldn't be a journalist. You shouldn't. In the hands of cowards in the zoo. That is why there is death and mayhem everywhere. That is why the Fulanis are not displaying their weapons openly. You can't do anything to them. They're taking over your land. You can't do nothing. Because when Buhari died and they brought in an idiot from Sudan, they watched all of you to see if you react. You did nothing. IPOB, led by Nnamdi, that was doing something, they convinced you idiots out of your jealousy. You cannot be like us. You can't be as educated as I am. It is not just possible. You cannot. I'm begging. You want to be like Nnamdi, you can't. So you spend your time inboxing people, writing rubbish. He did this, he did this, he did this, not knowing they're advertising us. That is why we have the largest following anywhere, and forget all the nonsense that Facebook is doing. They're wasting their time. They're wasting their time. They convinced all of you. Oh, Nnamdi is he's a madman. That young man. I'm not young. I'm older than the governor of Kogi State. That idiot. I'm older than him. He should be calling me dead in my village. That's what he's doing. What is it? You are a baboon. You are an animal. I am trying to talk sense into your skull that has failed to develop. I'm trying to educate you. Because I am an educated man. All I'm trying to do is to impart knowledge and to make sure that God in heaven, if Biafrans behave like Nigerians, I'm telling you, I will bring an atomic bomb and we'll kill ourselves. We'll wipe up the whole place. All of us will die. We can't suffer all these things to come and build a nation of idiots who cannot reason. Why do I talk to you the way I do? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Do you think it's because I hate you? Of course not. Well, I want you to reason. I want you to stand and walk. I want you to stand on your 2 feet and walk. Reason like men and women. Reason like human beings. Not like wild beasts. Because if we do not do this now, if we do not head into Biafra, sanitizing our way of reasoning, Biafra will be like the zoo, God forbid. That is why I do the things that I do. The way that I do it. All of you. That is why you cannot defeat any. There is no Biafran hardcore you defeat in a debate. Even if that person is a Panwatapa in the village, you can't defeat them. That's the type of Biafra we want. Biafra where men reason. The Biafra where men actually reason. We'll go back to Jubril in a bit. I love it tonight because the zoo is no more. I'm telling you the truth, it is no more. Zoo is gone. Let's wait for Corona to finish. And then, you see that their video, I'll package it to every government of the world. I will tell them, this is it, a pandemic of immense proportion is ravaging the whole world. And this idiot is in the basement of a rundown hotel in Havana, in Cuba, telling the idiots in the zoo called Nigeria that is his live address. You can't ask him questions. And some gullible fools actually gobble up this nonsense. Corona update, please. The time now is 5 minutes past 9 p.m. in the evening. People must stay at home, please. Once you get the order to stay at home, you must stay at home, please. Stay at home. Do not go out. Coronavirus is very deadly. Very, very deadly. Somebody sent something to me now on Netflix about a Chinese movie they made many years ago about coronavirus. On Netflix, as a matter of fact. I will try and watch it after this very program. Coronavirus is very, very deadly. You are to go outside only to get food, and for health reasons you want to jog, you want to work out. That is if you cannot do that at home. Always maintain social distancing of 2 meters, please, which is about 6 feet away from other people. Very, very important you do that, please. You must stay away from other people. Wash your hands as soon as possible. Remove your clothes as soon as possible, as soon as you get into the house. You must wash your hands and disinfect the door handles as well. Do not party, do not meet other people, because this disease is very, very deadly. As I said before, it started in November of 2019. It only manifests in the West after about 4 months. Incubation period in some people can be very, very long. We must be very, very careful, please. We do not want to carry this very bug home and put the lives of our parents and grandparents at risk. You can still spread coronavirus even if you're not exhibiting the symptoms. You can still spread it even if you are not exhibiting any symptoms. I must say, in the interest of the livelihood and well-being of our people, or should I say the health and well-being of our people, I will commend all those who are in political office trying very hard to alleviate the pains of the people. But I'm waiting and hoping for the churches to do more. I have not heard anything. I know that most of them they have something in the pipeline. They should try and roll that out, especially in the area of social welfare. Very, very important to complement the very big effort that IPOB is making on the ground to ensure that our people are safe and sound during this very difficult period. And in some places, they have commenced the lockdown. And we are doing everything that we can to raise awareness for our people, for them to understand. Although very, very troubling, there's this very distressing report we got about one particular hotel called Hotel du Golf at PZ Junction in Abia State. It was somebody who actually filed this complaint. A Lebanese man was there and he had symptoms of coronavirus. And the symptoms actually increased, and he was taken to Abia State Teaching Hospital in Aba. But there was no testing machine there. And they took him to FMC in Omuahia. There was no testing machine. And as he's going along, he's contaminating everywhere, infecting people and contaminating everywhere. And now they sent him to Lagos for treatment. But they said the hotel manager has been keeping it a secret. They should come out to issue a statement, please. They must issue a statement to tell us if they actually disinfected the whole place when this very person left. It's Hotel du Golf at PZ Junction in Aba. Very, very critical. And if you have been to that hotel in the past 2 days, please watch yourself and self-isolate as well for a minimum of 14 days. Coronavirus is very serious. I see some people saying, oh, it is not. It won't attack black people. It's not. It is a very vicious illness. Please, please, please take every necessary precaution. Very, very important. A few days ago, should I say last week, I advised live here on air not to accept any gift from China. No vaccine, no face mask, nothing. Some of you have seen on social media what it did to somebody. I think that was in Togo. And for those who are maybe doubting me and saying, oh, why would this? In fact, I never knew that Spain will run into difficulties with China. Because the past few days we've read and heard that Spain, they actually confirmed that they returned 600 COVID-19 testing kits because they actually bought it from China. China delivered it. 70% of the kits are not working. They are not working. They are not working, please. People who were being tested and the result came out negative, but they had coronavirus. And some people had didn't have it and was testing positive. That is why people are dying in Spain. They relied on China to supply their kits and their medical supplies, and now they're in a lot of mess. Nothing from China. I know that the multi-billionaire that owns Alibaba shop online has donated something to the Janjaweed in the north. Please, please, please make sure you don't. If you want to buy a face mask, please go to the shop to buy it. But as I'm saying, wearing a face mask will actually lure you into a false sense of security. Because if you take it off, you touch your face, you touch your mouth, you touch your eyes, you're in a very big mess. So be very, very careful, please. Just maintain social distancing and a high level of cleanliness. That will also help to solve the problem. And of course, there are no hospitals in the zoo. None whatsoever. And what have they done? They said, we will build health system, says the government of Abba-Kyari. We will in the future. Not now. We will. And he's in Cuba receiving treatment. Yes, they are passing emotion in their house because everything that we bring to you is abundantly correct. It is correct. They are passing emotion in their useless zoo house. We are now going to build hospitals. We are going to build. But buying exotic cars from Japan is their priority. Having furniture allowance is their priority. As I was telling some people yesterday, I said, oh, but IPOB, they don't have money. Where did they get all this money from? They ask us all the time. And I said, with IPOB, we give everything that we have. All the officers we have, our people, those who are, you give everything that you have. Because what we are looking for is not money for now. What we want is Biafra. After Biafra comes, let me see if Biafrans are going to allow hunger to kill me and my family. Now you understand the way we work. Everything we are doing is geared towards getting Biafra. Once Biafra is gotten, your job is done. Anything you want can be given to you. So why do you need to hoard money? For what? What do you need money for? They claim they are public servants, but they are hoarding money, all of them. Now coronavirus have scattered them. They don't, I'm sure some of them are lodging in hotels all over the place. For very many years, they could have built hospitals, but they didn't do it. They could have had a first class. In fact, the man that was being voted for Asura, that is, I don't understand this, you know. I've raised this very issue, but there is no, the zoo citizens don't want to pick it up. I keep asking them, what is the moral that you have an Asura clinic? You voted billions for it over the years, and your de facto president, Abba-Kyari, is sick and being flown to Cuba. Does that make any sense? And all of a sudden, maybe somebody needs to write to EFCC, to Magu, to ask him to investigate what happened to the funds in Asura Clinic. The total came to billions. So what actually happened to all the funds appropriated for Asura Clinic? What happened to it? What happened to it? The person that collected the money is Abba-Kyari. He is in a hospital in Cuba. I want people to rationalize it for me. Those that like Abba-Kyari, tell me why you do so. Money meant for Asura Clinic that he should have been treated in. We are squandered, embezzled, used to purchase prize properties in the Arabian Peninsula. Send their kids to very posh schools abroad. They tell you, oh, we are Nigerians, one Nigeria. Out of your hatred, your stupid, foolish hatred for Biafra and for Nnamdi Kanu, you say, okay, it's better, let's support them. And today your life is a mess. And you come and you complain. Oh, you've not given us food, and you want to lock us down. When you were supporting them, didn't you know? When we said don't vote, and you said no, didn't you realize it? When we said that abstaining from voting, boycotting election is the only way to engender an atmosphere, or should I say a climate of revolution. To get it, you said no. It's your civic right. On Facebook. It's your civic right. It's your civic. Now Fulani have taken everything away from you. Both civic and uncivic right from you. They've even given you a puppet from Sudan with a puppet master who is now down. And your lives are as miserable as ever. Because you're black people, you never reason. You never say to yourself, we've been doing this thing this same way for nearly 58 years. Or is it 59 years? Or is it 60? I have no idea anymore. Why don't we try something different? That is how white people behave. Even ordinary hymn song they used to sing in churches in those days, after a while, they change it. They change it. The only thing constant in life is change. Why is it that a black, this OG, why don't you want to change? Why don't you want to come with the time and reason how Asians reason? How Latin Americans reason? How every other part of the world reasons? As I keep saying, the only reason why South Africa is developing is because they had white people there. That is the truth. You may not like it, but it's the truth. The only reason why South Africa had an advanced economy was because of the presence of white people. That is the truth. Why can't we reason? I ask you. Now you're crying. No hospitals, so. But we are telling you that the best way to get a hospital in your village is by boycotting elections. So they know you're upset. You say no, we want to vote. It's our civic right. You have voted. Look at the mess you're in. And you're looking for who to blame. Please blame your ignorance. Blame your ignorance. We have Mazi Chike Doziem, who is going to tell us precisely, of course, what is going to happen. What is going to happen to the funds that we have allocated. You know, some of these, these idiots that run all over the place looking for money from politicians to try to remain relevant. They say, but where is the money? So you want IPOB to give you their money? You stay back and make sure that all this, no Efulefu will benefit. No Okoko will benefit from what we are doing. Because they cannot reap from where they have not sown. They cannot do that. They can never ever do that. They're insane. They can never ever do that. Mazi Chike Doziem is the head of the DOS. I think he sent in a statement, because here we're very truthful. He is not live with me. He sent in a recorded statement that Biafrans can hear all over the world, and he will also issue a written one. Very, very important that we do this. We play what Mazi Edoziem
Good evening, great
said.
Friends.
That's Mazi Edoziem.
All over the world. Good afternoon, good morning, and good night to you, depending on your time zone at this very moment. My name is Mazi Chike Edoziem. I come from Ihoma. Ihoma is in Olo province of Biafra land. And by the grace of Chukwukika Abiyama, I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the Directorate of State as the head of Directorate. Permit me, please, to inform great Biafrans shortly about IPOB action plan on COVID-19 virus. Flowing from its earlier directive on the present health menace, the COVID-19, and cognizant of its primary responsibility to the Biafran people, the leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra wish to announce certain contingency plans to be implemented in Biafra land to confront this worldwide health challenge. Provide proper direction to our people and put mechanisms in place to alleviate as much as is practicable the hardship resulting from this COVID-19 pandemic health challenge. As announced by our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, during his broadcast of 26th March 2020, and of course, his broadcast of today, IPOB will work towards ensuring that the most vulnerable amongst us in Biafra land receive necessary health and social assistance and support. To this end, hospitals and or clinics will be designated, prepared, and equipped with very essential medical supplies and equipment for effective combating of COVID-19 cases that may arise. Available statistics show that the most vulnerable and at risk are the aged. These are our parents, uncles, aunties, and grandparents, and most especially those amongst them with some underlying health conditions. It is our intention to stave off the occurrence of an unimaginable explosion of this pandemic in our land. To this effect, the Directorate do advise that all non-essential travel should be cancelled. What we witness the world over as it pertains to this COVID-19 virus is very troubling and distressing.
My village!
It is imperative, therefore, that strict and diligent adherence to medical advice by and from appropriate health personnel, authority, and institutions are adhered to. Personal hygiene and social distancing must form part of our daily usage and habit at this very crucial trying period. The leadership of the indigenous people of Biafra will put the following measures in place, which, on the one hand, will afford Biafrans some measure of opportunity for proper medical tests and control of the COVID-19 virus, while, on the other hand, we provide some basic necessities such as food to our people. 1. Each of the states in Biafra land, including Edo State, shall have 1 or 2 designated hospitals that will be equipped with the necessary COVID testing kits, sanitizers, medical personnel gear, and respiratory equipment. These hospitals shall, of course, work in very close cooperation with IPOB representatives. 2. IPOB structure at the unit level shall be mobilized to play a very important role to enable us fulfill our social obligation and responsibility to the Biafran people. Food centers will be set up in all IPOB units across Biafra land. 3. A committee of religious leaders shall be constituted to ensure that available funds are properly utilized for the purposes of combating the COVID-19 scourge in Biafra land. Biafra land national coordinator shall be provided with names of religious leaders to contact on this very issue. Placards and flyers shall be produced for purposes of information and advice on proper hygienic and social behavior. Great Biafrans, we as our leader have constantly and consistently informed us, even today, we must ensure that we come out of this plague victorious.
And we will. That we will. That's the voice of Mazi Dosiem, our head of Directorate of States, the DOS of IPOB, outlining what is going to happen. We have made the funds available, and then it is for the DOS that administers or that runs IPOB on a day-to-day basis to ensure that our people, those who are most in need, is in receipt of the help that they require from us. And we must proceed very, very hastily. As I said earlier, that will be made available to all our media arm to be able to circulate it, and we are encouraging all our unit coordinators to be on the lookout because they have a very important function to perform. Very, very important indeed. This is a live presentation. We are coming to you on a day that the zoo tripped over and fell on themselves. And as I told you, you know what I have done now? I was just, as Chika, as I was playing the voice of Mazi Chika, I was going through some of the things they've been sending to me. You know that ugly hotel. See the way they have now polished it. It is now, it has a mirror now. Everything is reflecting. Both the ceiling is reflecting and the floor as well. See how foolish they are. They always come with Photoshop. Always. Once they give you that little forged video, they now go back to their photoshopping. That's what they do. That very ugly hotel. All of a sudden it's now shining. The floor now is shining. It's reflecting. It's like a glass. And so also is the ceiling. That is the type of knowledge. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know why God put us in that part of the world, but His will be done. The end of this very. But as I know, as of tonight, this way is finished. They are gone. And we're not going to relent. IPOB, coronavirus, we are not going to relent. We will pursue Jubril until he goes back to Sudan. We are not. They are mad. Watch until tomorrow morning. We will dissect every angle, every aspect of the charade, and give you all the evidence. Some of you, perhaps out of your natural tendency to be foolish, may disagree, but that's entirely up to you. But Abakari he's on a ventilator in Havana, and from ventilator he's running the zoo. That's why they messed up. That's why they got it wrong. And anything we tell you, please try and do it. You must maintain social distancing, and our coordinators on the ground, be prepared because you have a lot of work to do. We don't want to lose Biafrans in this very fight against coronavirus. Again, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. This was the very piece of article that made the Janjaweed, the Fulani Cabal in Asorok, to go crazy. Not just from myself or from Imam of Peace. This piece came from Ambassador John Campbell. He wrote it. Let me tell you what is very troubling about what Ambassador Campbell wrote. What I've been telling you from day one. But he's the former U.S. ambassador to Nigeria, so maybe you might believe him. You might believe him, please. You might believe him. Let me read for you what he wrote. Abba Kyari, President Muhammad Buhari's chief of staff, has tested positive for coronavirus following a trip to Germany and Egypt, according to Nigerian media. So too have at least 3 of his staffers. Nigerian media describes Kyari as very sick and that he has been removed from Abuja to an infectious disease treatment center in Lagos, which is a lie. Where is Abba Kyari in Lagos? He is not in Lagos, he's in Cuba. Kyari reportedly began coughing heavily during a meeting that included, among others, the president and the vice president. And as I can assure you right now, Yemi Osinbajo is sick with corona. That's why you can't hear from him. That's why you can't see him. That is why you cannot see him. He's no longer talking. And I wish him well. I wish him well. I don't want anything to happen to him. I wish him well. In all honesty, I do. I think he's a good man, but he found himself in a very difficult place. Very difficult place. According to a Johns Hopkins University tracker, as at the morning of March 27, Nigeria has 61 active cases, while 1 person has died and 3 have recovered from the disease. Jubril, as they claim, has tested negative, as we can see today. But I still feel that maybe they forced him to get up. He wasn't coughing, was he? No. Now listen to what this man wrote. Kyari's title is Malam, an indication that he is an Islamic scholar. Do you see why all those Islamic extremists, all those Janjaweed all over the place? Because your true president, who is Abba Kyari, is actually an Islamic scholar. Listen. He also had extensive schooling in Europe and the United States, including University of Warwick, Cambridge University Institute of Management, and all the rest of them. And unlike the president Buhari, he is from Borno State. He's a Kanuri. Now listen. Kyari is the gatekeeper to the president. Gatekeeper to the president as the chief of staff, yes. Who had ordered that all cabinet requests come through him. All cabinet requests. In other words, all the workings of the government goes through Abba Kyari, not Oshibajo. Everything goes through him. Not, do you know what is cabinet papers? They are government papers. An ordinary chief of staff who is responsible, chief of staff to the president, he is responsible for the staff of the president. He is not responsible for the cabinet, assuming some of you read government, elementary government in secondary school. He's ordinary chief of staff. But from because of course he is the puppet master, from chief of staff he runs the entire government. He gave order that ministers should pass through him. Because they don't want you going through to go and see who they claim is Buhari, and you see them putting makeup on him and latex face mask on him. So you come through him. Listen very carefully. He attends virtually all of the president's meetings, photo ops and press briefings. All he attends. Now, you have seen Trump, you have seen other heads of state. Macron, Trudeau. Do you see the chief of staff with them anytime? Do you see Trump's chief of staff following him for briefing when he's talking? Well, only in the zoo. And you think that is normal? You think that is normal? Kyari is regularly in personal touch with virtually everybody at the top of Nigeria's political and economic establishment. He is the president. He's in touch with everybody. Everybody. He's the one running the ship. He wants to know if you know it is Jubril. If you know, they'll just bump you off and say he had an accident and you will die. It has been reported that he has regular, even hourly contact with the presidents. Because his office is, of course, very close to the president, you know. Hence his illness, listen carefully to this, hence his illness has significant implications for the functioning of Nigeria's weak but over-centralized federal government. The sickness of Abba Kyari will collapse the zoo. That is in essence what Ambassador Campbell is saying. His illness has significant, this is of course diplomatic speak, that's what it is. It has significant implications for the functioning of Nigeria's significant. And today they have made their very first mistake. What is that mistake? They held a press briefing in the basement of a hotel. Now they have the same video you and I saw a few hours ago. If you see those videos, if you see the pictures they are producing now, hey, Chineke kweli your jaw. You would think it is Waldorf Astoria in New York. That same tacky setting we saw. Oh, they have now, using the finest photoshopping editing suit, they have now transformed it. Everywhere is shining and glittering. And as I told you earlier, they are sharing it on Facebook, sharing it on Instagram, sharing it to confuse the gullible and the foolish. But not IPOB. Not IPOB. You can maybe take it from Ambassador Campbell. And with Abba Kyari out of the way, where is Oshibajo? Where is he? Your vice. Some of you talk about Jubril. Where is Oshibajo, by the way? Nobody knows where he is. And what happened to Ogundikpe will happen to the Yorubas again. Some of you don't know the story of Brigadier Ogundikpe. Brigadier Ogundikpe was a Yoruba man. He was the second in command to Agi Ironsi when Middle Belt people killed Agi Ironsi, by which I mean Tiwa Danjuma and Murtala Muhammad and all the rest of them. When they killed Agi Ironsi, by command, the leadership fell on this Yoruba man. He's a fine gentleman, Brigadier Ogundikpe. He was in his office in Lagos, in Dodan Barracks. What I'm telling you is a true story. He was in his office in Dodan Barracks, and the northern people, Murtala Muhammad and co, sent a recruit with a Mark IV. They went to his office and asked him to, said to him, get prepared to go to London. Yeah, ordinary recruit, or Fulani recruit. This is happening in Lagos, which is a Yoruba land. Okay, you go to London. And Ogundikpe asked him, go to London to go and do what? He said, you're going there as ambassador to London. He said, no, but my command is here. He said, no, our Oga say make you go. He said, who is the Oga? He said, are you going or are you staying here? Pointed the gun at Ogundigbe. Ogundigbe left his office. The highest ranking Yoruba military officer. Some of you wonder how we get this information. This is because of history. Because we are read. We are learned. We research. Some of you don't know how to do research. So if they tell it is 7, you just put in your pocket. Here we count it over and over again. He pointed the gun at Ogundigbe. He left. And shockingly, Brigadier Ogundigbe was the ambassador, or should I say high commissioner, to the United Kingdom under a junior army officer in Yakubu Gowon. Do you understand? The likes of her will never raise any issues with it. Because they promised him, oh, don't worry, one day you'll be the same thing they're promising Tinubu. They told Awolowo, oh, don't worry, one day you'll be the president of Nigeria. Oh, don't worry, we know you. Will come and work for us. You'll be president one day. Did they give it to Awolowo? Of course not, they didn't. But in order to buy Awolowo's, should I say, silence on the issue of the humiliation of Brigadier Ogundigbe, they offered him vice presidency, or should I say vice president, to go on, and he accepted. He abandoned his brother. The same thing they did to Ogundigbe's what they're now doing to Oshibajo. And I'm not trying to boast. Compare this with what happened when Jonathan was the deputy to Yaradua. It was actually an Igbo woman, a Biafran, that stood up and said, this man is no more, we must move on. That was why they have sworn. You see it on social media. What happened to us during Yaradua will not happen to us again. That is why I keep saying, even Atiku Abubakar is aware of Jubril. That is why they cannot probe him. That's why they can't probe Atiku Abubakar. Of course he's aware of what is happening. He knows that that man is not Buhari. After all, he was a former vice president. He knows everything. He knows where all the bodies are buried. That's why they cannot probe him. They can make all the noise in the world, but they can't probe him. The same thing that happened to Ogundigbe is now happening to Oshibajo, and Yorubas are just there looking sheepishly. But Dora Akunyili did something. And that is why we are brave people. Sometimes we pay with our lives. But that is why we are very brave. We don't tolerate evil. That was why Dora Akunyili stood up and spoke and said, Jonathan will be the president because the president is no more. Now, in a cabinet full of Fulani and Yoruba, there is no Biafran there to rise up and say no. That's why they don't want any Igbo man there. So you don't know. They don't want another Dora Akunyili there who will get up one morning and say, oh, I want to go and see Baba. He's not there. The man I'm seeing there is not Baba. He looks like a 40-year-old boy. Where is Baba? They don't want it. They don't want another. Forget all the marginalization. No. They don't want another Dora Akunyili in there because they will be exposed. Then look at Femi Adesina. That one is Papa Akamo. He will just run away. Come on, go and Photoshop. He will run. He said yes, sir. He will go and be photoshopping for them. That's all he does. Minister of Photoshop. So we have the history of the zoo at hand. Yoruba should not allow what happened to Ogundigbe to happen to them again. They should not allow it to happen. These are the same people who were asking for Jonathan to resign over Boko Haram. But today there is the same Boko Haram, even 4 more. I keep saying this, but Nigerians don't want to listen. Not only do you have Boko Haram, you have Miyeti Allah, which I'm sure we have hammered them so much they have not changed their name. I'll give you their new name, but we still hammer them, even on that new name they have. You have Boko Haram, you have Miyeti Allah, which is AKA, also known as Fulani headsmen. You have Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb. You have ISIS in West Africa. You have Ansaru. Jonathan had to contend with one terrorist group. This regime of Abakari, they have 5. Nobody is calling for anybody to resign. That is the hypocrisy of the Yoruba media. I speak the truth. And they know I speak the truth. That is the hypocrisy. And I keep saying to Yoruba media practitioners, cowards are not meant to be journalists. If you're a coward, you cannot speak the truth. You should not be a journalist. You shouldn't be a journalist. That is the fact of life. Oh, Jonathan resigned. Some of you have forgotten that they asked Jonathan to resign. Where are you today? Because Jonathan was a gentleman. He believed in democracy, in freedom of speech. You insulted him. You said everything. The same people that insulted Jonathan, the Shoyikas of this, everybody's now pim. Because what I call the promise of Awolowo, it has come to Tinubu. And they're not keeping quiet. We'll deceive them. We will deceive the Igbos and go there in 2023. So let's just keep quiet. All those that asked Jonathan to resign over Boko Haram attacks, only one attack. Now, the Janjaweed, the Fulani terrorists, they come to your house, they rape your wife, they run away with your daughter in broad daylight. And they take your daughter into the nearest army camp. The army will protect them and the police. That is why they have police. That is why they have Fulani police commissioners everywhere. They are not there to maintain law and order. They are there to make sure that they cover up all the atrocities and the terrorism of the Fulani. That is why they are there. As I'm saying it now, you think he's a joke. When it happens, I'll come on air and I'll tell you I told you so. As I was telling you about Jubril, you never believed me. Has it not happened now? Some of you that even says that that thing there is Buhari, go to the old pictures. Just type in Buhari from 2015 to 2016. Forget 17. From 19 whenever to 2016, and tell me if it is that man. Jonathan resigned. Now it is their turn. Nobody's talking about resignation because Yoruba editors are scared. They are frightened. And they need access to the oil and gas of Biafra land. They are frightened. They no longer know what to do. Nigeria is running on autopilot. What I call a dictatorial autopilot. You see them, you think they are free to speak their mind. No, they are cowards. They are afraid. It's only IPOB that will speak its mind. That was why they hastily designated us as a terrorist group to, not just to clamp down on us, but to stop us from saying the truth. But they have not succeeded, have they? Instead, we have torn the zoo to shreds. We have decimated the zoo. I'm sure by tomorrow. Tonight they will flood everywhere with Photoshop. Now, this night, everywhere Photoshop from different angles. And trust IPOB now. We'll be picking up we're picking out all their flaws one after the other. In each picture they send to us, we circle it for them. All their flaws. All their flaws. Like when they sent two Jubrils to the opening of Abuja Railway. They didn't tell each other what was happening. And that same time, Abba Kyari was not around to control things. The two camps, they brought out their everyone bring out your own Buhari. They brought the two Buharis and they met. And the picture is there. And Nigerians are looking at the picture. They see it clearly. They still tell you, are you sure it's possible? No wonder Africa is poor. The way we reason is laughable. It's laughable. Remember when Buhari asked the cabinet to declare Yar'Adua incapacitated? It was in Vanguard published it. Everybody, you have all this news. There is something called precedent. What is good for the geese is good for the gander. How was it possible that people that held the administration of Jonathan to account all of a sudden are scared to hold this terror group to account? All of you are scared. In the zoo, everybody is frightened. Everybody. They gave me bail. I said, "Oh, don't say anything when you come out." In the court, yes, my lord. Yes, my lord. As I went outside, I started doing my own thing. When you are fighting a demon, a bad demon like the Fulani, you have to be consistent. Consistent. No room for error. No margin for error. You must remain on song all the time. You don't waver. You don't shift. You continue until you overwhelm them. Even with their British backing. Have you seen how we've unraveled the zoo now? You see that video? Oh, every government of the world will have it now. Hey, every head of state will have it, and I will be asking them, is this the Buhari you used to know? The thief of 7 suitcases. Is that the man you used to know? That the wife was, even Aisha was implicated in Halliburton bribery scandal. Magu has never written to Aisha. Never. All the money missing from Asoro Clinic, no one has written any letter inviting them to come and explain. So Fulani can steal, Fulani can loot, and it's fine. But others are not allowed to loot. They're not allowed to steal. And you're in one Nigeria. Mad people everywhere. Why are Yorubas not concerned about what is happening to their son Osibanjo? Why are they not concerned? I have never seen anybody come out and say, oh, where is our vice president? Please let him speak. Nobody. Because they're all cowards. Cowards. They hide behind their laptop or their paper or their camera and they're talking rubbish. Igbo is a greater problem. Has Igbos ever detonated a bomb before Yoruba land? Go to Akure and see your shame in the crater left by a gravity bomb being carried by the Janjaweed to kill everybody. I keep saying to Yoruba, your duplicitousness will kill you. Your duplicitousness will kill you unless you change and remain consistent. And we'll give you oil and gas. Not one day you're hot, the next day you're cold. That is why Fulani are doing what they're doing. Like I say now, Lagos State Governor is a new darling. You know that we are sending 10 billion to Lagos. One buffoon said, hand over government to Sanwo-Olu. I looked at him, I laughed at them. Zoo animals. That's the way they reason. It's no longer the turn of the Igbo man or Southeast. He's give the government to Sanwo-Olu. He's doing well. He's coordinating very well. Oh dear me. Zoo and all who are in it. Unbelievable. Oshibajo cannot eat in any place where there is the rule of law. Shouldn't Oshibajo be making all those statements? As Boris Johnson said, the Deputy Prime Minister will take over from me. So in the absence of the President, all these days that the zoo citizens are looking for guidance, wouldn't it be better, or wouldn't it have been better for Zibajo to come up and step up to the plate and deliver? No. Even, to my shock, even Yorubas are not asking after him. That is the most troubling thing about it. They're not asking after their own brother. Say, oh, where is he? Nobody is asking after him. Because Tinubu will get the presidency. Or maybe Sanwo-Olu. You know the same way they promoted, what's his name? The former Lagos, the Minister for Darkness. What was his name? I've forgotten his name. I can't remember because he's not relevant. That bushman from Lagos. Oh, he built park. Can't you see? He planted a banana under the bridge. Because of that, he's good. He's the president. He's a future president. Let's give him works and housing. You will see, he will turn NEPA around overnight. What is he today? Somebody will just plant flower in a roundabout. All of a sudden, he's president material. Unbelievable. Zoo. There's nothing Yoshibaja can do about it. Brigade Ogundikbo scenario all over again. They think we'll forget history. No, we don't. We don't forget history. Zeke messed up and we slaughter him. And he don't say he's my uncle, he messed up, and we don't feel sorry for anybody who messes up. You think we are sentimentalists? Oh, you have to be sentimental. I have no time for stupid sentiment. I don't even feel sorry for myself. So what time do I have to feel sorry for idiots? Our mission is to go and create a viable nation in Africa that will have light, that will have running water, that will have good schools. Not by mouth, not by theory. We want to practicalize it so that the whole world can see it. That Africans are not stupid after all. There's only some of them. Or you think we're here to joke? You think we're just asking for Biafra for the sake of it? Is that what you think? And imagine you think that, oh, they're just asking for Biafra. It's an online country. They're asking for, we are asking for Biafra to prove to you and to the rest of the world that we are special. That Biafran people are a special race of human beings. You may not like it, but it's the truth. We are free on our own, and in 5 years you'll be begging for visa to come to Biafra land. 5 years you will beg, you will crawl to come to Biafra land. You will beg. Mad people everywhere. But we are curing their disease. I remember when Premium Times wrote why Buhari may not address Nigerians on coronavirus according to their presidency. They issued a statement saying Buhari will not address you. And then the pressure came. The pressure came. IPOB was relentless. Relentless. And luckily for us, a man of peace from Australia joined. And then Ambassador Campbell wrote his piece. They knew that the game was up. He must now address them. But they went to their Fulani paper, Premium Times, and said, no, Buhari will not address Nigerians. It is not his style. So I'm asking for me, Adeshino. All of a sudden, the style has now changed. He's now addressing people. Buhari that used to hold media briefings. All of a sudden, he's no longer his style to talk to the media. How can you have a president and has never taken any questions from the media since 2017? Till now. A president. Nobody can ask him a question. I never knew that Sudanese make good presidents like this. I don't know. When Biafra, in the constitution of Biafra, it will be written in the constitution of Biafra. Anybody, if you try to do anything to tamper with the way that the government is run, you'll be hanged publicly. You won't be shot. You'll be hanged in your village square, in public, in full view. So that way you know that the people is sacred, that the people is supreme. You don't tamper with the decision. You don't. If you try it, you will be hanged in your village square, so that in your next life, if you hear Biafran government, you'll be running. You won't mess with the people. You can do all that your nonsense in the zoo. People every blessed day. Oh, it's my mom's 80th birthday. It's my uncle's 80th birthday. It's my aunt's 80th birthday. And you have a small boy in Aso Rock claiming he's 80 years old. And when you see him, you go blind. All the wrinkles in your, that part of your brain that recognizes wrinkles on the face of an 80-year-old, it disappears. So you don't know that when Buhari was alive, when he's talking, I don't want to give away too many things, but let me try. I have many, but let me just give you another one. I've told you this evening that his teeth, Buhari's teeth, the incisors, the two teeth you have at the front, you cut meat with, they are not equal. The right one is longer than the left one. But what is going to happen? Look at all the pictures of Jubril before. You will see that the two are equal. But I'm telling you now, from tomorrow morning, they will go and Photoshop and will bring out pictures, not live, pictures of Jubril, where the right incisor is longer than the left one. But we have loads and loads of pictures and videos where Jubril is talking and the teeth is the same level. So you never knew that before, did you? You never knew. And when Buhari is talking, there's this silly Yoruba girl that used to work for Sahara Reporters before. You know that silly Yoruba girl that used to do her funny videos, talking rubbish. I want to ask, somebody should send that video to her and ask a simple question. Is this Buhari? I don't know what her name is. She's black and she's short. Yoruba girl that works for Sarah TV. I don't think she works there anymore. She was the one that said, "Oh, it is Buhari. They flipped it. It's Photoshop. They flipped it." They are the type of people who should not be journalists. You see them there smiling. You think they are normal? No, they are not. They are agents of darkness. They see evil and they cover it up. Evil because they're taking money. All fake and lies. They cover evil. That tiny girl, she is the embodiment of everything wrong with Yoruba journalism. With all due respect, Yoruba should not be practicing journalism. It's not meant for cowards. And I tell you the truth. I speak when I'm here. I speak the truth. You may not like it. I'm not. These days we are getting too many friends. I want to warn. We are having too many friends. I'm not happy. I function better when my enemies outnumber my friends. That is when I function best. I need enemies to function. I don't need friendship. I need enemies. That brings out the best in me. That useless girl. What's that talking? Oh, he said Buhari. He can't. We said to them, get us the fingerprint of Jubril. Buhari has a fingerprint in the national register. They're not the same. They said, no, it is the same. Can't you see they're not the same? Oh, it is the same. Look at the palm of his hands. They're not the same. No, they are. Look at his ear. Once I focused on the earlobe, they went and they cut it immediately on Jubril. And they started showing pictures of his left ear. Now, when he's talking, he will now turn and show you the new style of the left ear lobe. There was everything, scientific facts we pointed out, one after the other, irrefutable till today. They don't go to school now. Did they go to school? I think ASU is about to go on strike. Giant of Africa. Not only a giant of Africa. Giant of the swimming pool in my backyard. Mad people everywhere. Until this man came. You know, he's white. The Imam of Peace. You know, in Africa, if you look at me and I'm telling you something, you're likely not to believe me because I look like you. But once somebody that looks a bit European, looks a bit white, a bit Persian, once they come and they're talking, everybody will become interested. That's how blacks are. That's the way we are. That is why we bleach. Not me personally. That's why most people bleach their skin. You don't see anything good in yourselves. That is why you buy bleaching cream. There's nothing good about you. That is why the same thing I've been saying since 2012. Nobody paid any. I wouldn't say nobody, of course. We got the zoo rocking until a Persian came. He's a white man because Persians are the most, arguably, which is Iran and Iraq, the most advanced people on the face of the earth. They started reading and writing in Persia when the white man was about to climb down from the mountain of the Caucasus. So Iran is naturally an advanced, by nature, for thousands of years, an advanced country. And the Imam of Peace is from Iran, so they're very advanced people. I must say that. The Persians, very, very advanced. Very, very advanced people. Until he came along and they saw his white, handsome face. He's fair. And they said, yes, what he's saying is not true. I can follow him. You know, there's no need to follow a black man that looks like me. It doesn't make any sense. That's how we reason in Africa, isn't it? That is how we do it in Africa. As useless as ever. But we are marching on because Biafra will change all of that. Biafra will change all of that. What did this Imam of Peace say? He said, listen, tell me if there is something here that IPOB have not said before. Nigeria's your president does not even have a formal education background. I heard he does not have honorary school. Don't you know that before? And the case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, how can you say he doesn't have WAEC when he became, when he was a former head of state? People that did law that said law is based on what you have in front of you. Does this man have a certificate, yes or no? He doesn't. And instead of the judges to say that he doesn't have certificate, because of that he's disqualified, they said, if he doesn't have, how come he became head of state before? But it was a coup. He took it by force. These are the learned friends and learned silk at the bench. This is why I hate everything about Nigeria. I despise Nigeria. I hate the place because the people, it's not that Nigeria is on its own is bad. Nigeria succeeded in turning the people who call themselves Nigerians into a bunch of zombies who cannot reason properly. Failed president, he called him. No realistic agenda to tackle. He's a jihadist, including Abba Kyari. So how can they tackle it? Buhari is a terrorist and the dumbest person. Have I said that before? I called Buhari a terrorist in 2015. I did a program. In fact, when DSS was questioning me, and in fact, it's part of the charges against me in court, that I called Buhari a terrorist and a pedophile. Of course, he was a pedophile. Aisha was 9 years old when Buhari assaulted her. That is a fact of life. Some of you have forgotten that the age of Buhari, when he took over power from Shagari in 1983, was 45. All of you have forgotten that. You've forgotten, haven't you? All of you. It was the class of Obasanjo in the army. Look at his age mate, Kumasi. You know, the former IG of police, Kumasi. Okay, let me give you an assignment tonight. If you want to know that the idiot addressing you today was Jubril. Look at him very well. Go and look at all the age mates of Buhari. Now they'll tell you, oh, because he has air condition in Aso Villa. There's air condition washing over him. And he has the best doctors in the world. All lies and rubbish. You cannot suffer brain tumor. All of a sudden, you make a remarkable recovery and you forget how to speak your native tongue. That doesn't make any sense. Maybe I should stop teaching these people. They're not willing to learn. The Imam of Peace destroyed the zoo, set the zoo ablaze, and everybody was running helter-skelter because he's a white man, of course. If you're a black man, you can say the same thing from now till next year. Nobody will listen. But of course, most people listen to us because we're IPOB. They know how relentless we are. Resolute and relentless. Unstoppable. Unstoppable. The drama said on Thursday and the zoo, they were questioning him. People were asking, where is Jubril? You call him Buhari, but you saw today he's Jubril. To come and speak on coronavirus, he came and he spoke for 22 minutes from a written piece of paper and ran away. He never raised his eyes to the camera. Unyoshi, armed robber. He never looked at the camera straight. Never. That is your president of the most populous country in the world. Maybe one day, Nigerians will apologize to IPOB and to myself. One day they will. I'm very, very sure. But what concerns me most this evening, and I must address our people, is the issue of Fulani terrorism and Yoruba media complacency in Nigeria. I'm warning the Yorubas today. Write it down on a piece of paper. You will suffer. If you don't rise up now to partner with IPOB to stop the mess from the Janjaweed, you are going to suffer. You are going to suffer because of Amotekun, they're now detonating bombs all over the place. And the police commissioner is from the north. Oh, police commissioner, how did this happen? How come they bombed that? Oh, they were carrying a bomb. Listen to the story. It's a bomb. It's the army. They are carrying a bomb. And the vehicle spoiled. Listen, this is from a police commissioner. And the vehicle spoiled. And they tried to start the vehicle. It couldn't start. And the occupants of the vehicle came down and started running away. Can you believe such rubbish? And the bomb exploded. God. Oh dear. It's drama, isn't it? Police. How did this terrorist? No, it's not. It's the army. Where is the army traveling to with a gravity bomb? To where? Is Nigeria at war? No, they are moving it to where? Moving it to where? So you're moving it from Bauchi to where? To Ojo cantonment? To where are you moving it to? He doesn't know. The police commissioner, Nigerian Police Force commissioner, defending terrorists. The man who is supposed to be investigating a terrorist act is the one providing excuses as to why the bomb went off. And you're telling me that Nigeria is a country. You must be mad to think so. Honestly, insane to think so. Those who live by propaganda will die. I love it's not original from me. Somebody wrote it, but I love this so much that I picked it up. Those who live by propaganda will die by propaganda. Remember when Biafran businesses, Igbo homes were destroyed in trade fair, Bulado, because Abakiyari, the Janjaweed, the Fulani, connived with the local Yoruba. They want to take the land over. They connived. They killed our people. I saw the creators of the bomb and I came on and I said, these are called gravity bombs. Go and research them, please. They killed a lot of people. Do you know what Yoruba editors need? Oh God, to be evil is not good. And it's a good thing that this Imam of peace singled out channels television. Everything I tell you is, I don't hate anybody. God in heaven knows. God forbid, I don't hate anybody. But when you're evil, I will hate you. I kept telling you people that channels TV is bad. Every time I will tell you that. Now that Imam of peace, an Australian white man, have said it, maybe you guys can now listen. Maybe now you will listen. Is there anything he said I've not said before? I told you that channels, if you're getting your news from channels TV, may God have mercy on your soul. You are as evil as they are. You know, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is the king. Even if that one-eyed man is a Jubril, is the king. Unbelievable. Those who live by propaganda will die by propaganda. When it came to Abula, the trade fair, Igbo residential area, the bomb explosion, Yoruba media called it pipeline explosion. Yoruba media. And they went to school. As one of them wrote in the Tribune, was it yesterday? IPOB pledged 6 million naira to fight coronavirus. And I asked Powerful to contact the man and ask him if his brain cells are not functioning very well. It's just because they saw we earmarked 300 million and we have provided 50 million. And the news is everywhere. But he went and he wrote 6 million. Out of spite. I keep asking some Yoruba friends of mine, do you people gain, what do you gain by being like, what do you gain? What is your gain? What do you gain by this thing that you're doing? One day you're normal, the next day you're supporting evil. What do you gain by doing that? Then I'm telling them the truth. I love Yorubas and we work together. But all these things you're doing is not good. Abula, the threat for Igbo people killed, destroyed, is a gas pipeline. Now they have killed you in Akure. Is it maybe it is the kerosene jerrycan that exploded? Our own was a fuel. This one is a kerosene jerrycan that exploded. But had you stood up then when the bomb explosion went off in Abula and said this is a terrorist attack, they wouldn't have attacked Akure. That's the way it is. People wonder, what's the CNN is not covering news about Biafra? Because CNN reporter is a Yoruba man in Lagos. How can he report you? How can he write a report about you? We are not fighting with them. We are not quarreling with them. And I keep asking Yoruba, are you fighting a secret war with the Biafran people? Is there any war you're fighting? Come out in the open. Yeah, then I realized that most of them are from Ilorin. Ilorin was conquered by Fulani people with the help of Hausas. And they are all suffering from what is called the Stockholm Syndrome. You know, where you love your conqueror, your rapist. Where you love somebody tormenting you. That brain that black Africans developed after the Europeans came, colonized us and messed us all up, killed us in our millions. We still followed them sheepishly. Maybe it's in our blood, who knows? But not in the blood of Biafrans. I condemn that in total. But the governor of Ondo State, his name is, what's his name again? His name is Odunayo Akredolu. He said it is bomb, not jerrycan, not kerosene jerrycan that caught fire in a nearby market and exploded. And I keep but this hatred that Yoruba media have for Biafrans, where did they get it from? Are we fighting with them? I've been researching history. We never invaded Yoruba land. Yoruba, you love those that invaded your land and took a lot from you. Is that normal? It's not normal. Please, you must change your ways. You must change. And what you're doing is encouraging a Fulani regime of terror and emboldening religious fanatics. They ask some people to go and observe lockdown or whatever it is, a curfew. They burnt down a police station. The Hausa people. The IG of police have not spoken. The Speaker of the House have not spoken. Nobody's talking. But if the police come to kill IPOB family members and we burn their vehicle, hey, every headline in Lagos, hey, IPOB, they attack police. But police will come and kill IPOB family members for no reason. Allegedly. Do you know that a police station was burned down in the north? There was no outrage, no outpouring of righteous indignation by the... Why am I focusing on Yoruba media? Because they are helping the conquest of the South. What Yoruba media are doing is actually aiding the Fulani terrorists to conquer the South. That's what I'm saying. They must change their ways. I don't hate them, but they must change their ways. They burnt down a police station. Nobody spoke. If it is in Biafra land, every senator, every House of Reps member, every idiot who's looking for contract in Abuja will come out to condemn IPOB. Every idiot. Now it's happening enough. Nobody's saying anything. They flouted the confinement or whatever it's called. Self-isolation. Nobody gives it. Don't go and touch them now. Because they are fallen. They are in power. That determines who lives and who dies. Who lives and who dies. Very, very sad indeed. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and direct. We've destroyed the zoo. We know how to pursue them. I know how to deal with Fulani. I say, leave these people to me. I know how to handle them. You've now seen how we chased them and they stumbled and they fell into our trap. They cannot delete that video again because we now have it. Every head of state will get it. Every head of state will get it. Of course, we're not asking them to do anything, but they will get it. And let me tell you one very funny story that just broke today. One of us brought it to my attention. Where is it? Do you know that Miyet Yala have changed their name? Miyet Yala. We have hammered them so much. They have now changed their name. They are now called Kakban. No more Makban, but Kakban. No, Kakran. That's their new name. Kakran. Have you heard of that before? That is the power of IPOB. We destroyed them. Decimated them. All of a sudden, they are now answering Kakban. I'll read the story for you, just to make you laugh, to let you know the potency of IPOB. That we have forget all they are saying. They know how deadly we are. They know that. They pretend because the whole world listen to us. Say the whole world, people all over the world are listening to me right now, and we will record it. We will distribute it again on Sound. Everybody gets it on MP3 on SoundCloud. Why do you think the zoo is working? Only if Yoruba journalists can just get up one day and write the truth and say, this man in Aso Rock is not Buhari. That will be the game changer. It's all over. Because even most of our people, especially those born on top of a rubbish bin in Lagos, they will not accept until it comes from a Yoruba person. That's where we are. Very sad indeed. This is a headline from Daily Post. COVID-19. Kakran cautions headsmen against movement. Kakran, no more Makban. We have banned them. This is what you call prescription. When we prescribe you don't rise up again, as we prescribed Buhari, and as we are now processing the form of Jubril. Very soon we'll prescribe him. The same way we prescribed Haneze. Tell them you can't gather in public. Have they gathered in public? Let them gather in public and we'll deal with them. They can't gather in public. Prescribed. Do you know Makban, the fourth largest terror group in the world? aka Funny Heads. They have changed their name. Their name is now Kulun Ala Cattle Rearers Association. No more Mieti Ala Cattle Breeders. They have now changed their name to Kakran. The acronym is KACRAN. They have called on their members nationwide to stop the movement of their cattle from place to place because of COVID-19. Kakran. The fear of IPOB is the beginning of wisdom. You will see what will happen to Jubril. By the time we are done with Jubril, because Jubril is collapsing with the zoo. You see, that was how we pursued this very line of action. Because any day that it dawns, or any day that the average stupid Nigerian accepts that a Sudanese is in charge of his life, then the whole world will step in. And the zoo is effectively gone. And tonight is the beginning of that process. Then write it down on a piece of paper from tonight. They have made a fool of themselves. That brings us to the end of our program this very evening. I thank all of you for listening wherever you are. I'll be broadcasting maybe about, say, 3 times in a week. I think I'll have to broadcast again on Wednesday to keep the heat on the zoo and, of course, on COVID-19. And also next week, either Saturday or Sunday, I don't know, but I will broadcast on Wednesday. I thank all of you very much for listening. We are Radio Biafra, don't forget that. But more importantly, we are IPOB and we are the children of the Most High, the children of Elohim in heaven. From me, from here, it is good evening. Maybe the zoo can learn.